show starts now.
And taking a live look outside, this is the Brooks County Courthouse, the weather stem camera there. Looking good. You know, the sun is trying to make its way up, peeking up.
It's a pretty looking start.
It is a pretty looking start. Folks
We know what's coming, so maybe it doesn't feel as cheery as it would be.
Right.
Like if it were in February, a morning like that, right?
Exactly.
God, so hot.
So hot.
These last couple, I felt like Lovey and I were outside planting some things. My goodness, it was miserable yesterday.
Ooh, you guys were outside in it.
We spent an hour, and so moving some plants around, replanting some water. I mean, I felt like we planted some things and watered them, and 2 hours later they were wilted. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
It's so hot, so miserable.
So hot, man.
And we do get that in the summer, and it is officially summer.
Yes,
but
we did make it over the weekend.
I was talking to people. Everyone was asking, like, if I had $1 for everyone said to me, "Hey Rob, can you do something about this heat?"
Right.
I'd have had a lot of dollars on Saturday. And I said, "Hey, well, summer started Friday night, so we got 90 more days of this."
So, see, when you think of it like that, it's like, oh my goodness.
We're just getting started.
We're just getting started.
We're not even towards the middle of the forest yet. We're just walking into it. So think cool thoughts, my friends. We got lots of hot to get going, and I do expect it to be really hot and really humid again. Now, one of the things that we're looking at this morning, these temperatures are actually what we expect this time of year. So to start the day, not so bad out there. 74 Bainbridge, 75 Tallahassee, a little on the warmer side. It's 72 in Thomasville, right where it should be. 70 in Homerville, 73 in Perry and Moultrie. Not too far from normal out there to get started. But the issue here is these temperatures start climbing real fast and they climb real far. So by 9, 10 o'clock, these are well through the 80s. By noontime, there's going to be spots in the 90s. And of course, when you mix in the humidity, it feels 8 or 10 or 12 degrees hotter than it is. So all of a sudden, those 93s, 94s, 95s feel like 105s, 106s, 107s. And that's when we start getting to that dangerous kind of hot and humid. So if you are going to be outside working in the afternoon or just spending time outdoors, especially in the afternoon, make sure you got cold water to drink. Make sure you have places to take breaks and get the shade. I'm telling you, that ice towel works wonders. We are looking at long duration hot today and tomorrow and probably Wednesday too. The shower chances, they're not going to be zero, but they're not going to be great. And that's where things start to go off the rails a little bit when we don't get those showers. We'll talk about them. We'll take a look at the full forecast. I'll break it all down in just a couple of minutes.
New this morning in South Georgia, 2 people are behind bars on drug charges following a traffic stop in Echols County. Deputies arrested 25-year-old John Jackson and 18-year-old Emily Polk. Deputies say they stopped Jackson's car on Sullivan Lane near Highway 135. They say they did a search and found some marijuana and about a half a pound fentanyl pills. This is an active investigation. In Thomas County, a man is arrested after allegedly strangling someone with an extension cord. Deputies arresting 27-year-old Jermaine Baynard. TCSO says it happened last Thursday on Sanford Heights. Bernard is facing aggravated assault charges.
So an investigation is now underway after a man accused of killing his daughter dies while in the Leon County Jail. The Leon County Sheriff's Office says that Andrew Wiley died after a medical emergency last Thursday. LCSO says Andrew Wiley died from a pulmonary embolism. He was 36 years old. Now, he's suspected of killing his daughter, 12-year-old Lori Page. So Wiley will no longer face trial for murder. Wiley's brother says Andrew planned to present an alternative theory in the case once at trial. He also claimed that Andrew had no chronic medical conditions. We expect a full autopsy to be released later. Now, 2 months ago, the Sheriff's Office announcing the arrest, sharing that they discovered the remains of Lori Page in South Georgia. Page, presumed missing for almost 2 years. There were billboards and signs and search parties, all working to find her. And the Florida Department of Law Enforcement arresting a Tallahassee man on 5 felony counts of possession of child sex abuse material. FDLE arresting 81-year-old Lynn Bradley Dameron III on June 16th. The computer repairman called the police after finding child sex abuse material on Dameron's computer. This is still an active investigation.
Serious and systematic financial problems are found at FAMU. Now the university is under pressure to fix them. Florida's Board of Governors discussed a recent FAMU audit during their meeting last Wednesday. The board says FAMU violated state law by failing to pay some vendors on time. The audit also showed a lack of accounting control and significant staffing issues. The Board of Governors says they are directing the blame at FAMU CFO Rebecca Brown, who's been in that role since January of 2023.
In the private sector, for a chief financial officer to have this systemic breakdown, right, and this loss of control, risk controls, they would be shown the door so fast it would make their head spin.
FAMU interim president Timothy Beard telling the board that he's confident in Brown. He also says the university is working to hire more accounting staff and installing a $25 million business management system. Dr. Beard says that should be ready in the next few months. Board of Trustees Chair Christian Harper says the board is also working to solve the financial problems. The Board of Governors asked FAMU for progress updates at every meeting until the issues are fixed. 5:36 now. Middle schoolers in Thomas County are learning the ins and outs of AI. This is thanks to a partnership with the statewide initiative.
Yeah, our Brianna Shaw joins us now. And Brianna, tell us all about this program.
Well, Rob, Lenitra, it's called AI for GA. It's giving Thomas County students a head start in artificial intelligence, teaching them how it works and how it impacts the world around them. In the 9-week course, students learn how AI shows up in social media, video games, even agriculture. Then they put that knowledge to work and create projects of their own. The program also focuses on making AI education more accessible, especially for African American, Latino, and rural students. Students at Thomas County Middle School take it a step further. They've had their role in creating a curriculum that's now being used in other states.
It feels good, being on camera and being able to explain how AI works, because I never thought I would know how deeply how AI works, because I was never interested in it. But then I learned about it and it was oh yeah, this is interesting, it's fun.
The program has already expanded to Florida, Texas, and classrooms in New York as well. One of the program's goals is to open the doors to STEM careers that students may have never considered. Now, the program is led by the Georgia Department of Education in partnership with several different universities. Lenitra, Rob, definitely a huge deal for these students, not only to learn about it, but also to be a part of these training videos that are being used in classrooms across the nation.
Ah, that's pretty cool.
It's incredibly cool, right? Yeah.
All right, well, thanks, Brianna.
All right, so 1 in 10 men experience depression or anxiety daily, but less than half go for treatment. Now that's according to Mental Health America. So a South Georgia barber is encouraging those impacted to find some help. Timothy Lezane is a Valdosta barber and a mental health advocate. He says he's faced several struggles in life. Lezane says his recent cancer battle gave him the opportunity to talk with men who sit in his barber chair about where they can get help if they feel anxious or depressed.
That's just another experience that I can share, you know what I mean? But I've lived the life of a lot of young men that they live in, so I come from where they come from. I've been where they going if they don't get themselves together, you feel me?
Now, mental health research shows that in recent years there's a 30% increase in men going to therapy, and experts say that's largely due to greater awareness and reduced stigma.
A heads up for Thomasville drivers. Starting today, East Washington Street will be closed between North Mitchell Street and Glenwood Drive. The city's wastewater department is replacing a wastewater drain. The work is scheduled to begin at 7 a.m. and will last around 3 weeks. Drivers should plan accordingly and avoid this area. Staying in Thomasville, people were celebrating freedom over the weekend with the Juneteenth festival. Our Stacey Inez shares all the fun, but most importantly, the message behind the holiday.
Freedom is for everybody. The ending of slavery should have been the beginning of unity.
Unity, celebration, and empowerment, all playing a part in the 6th annual Juneteenth Freedom Festival in Thomasville. Usher Dent is the founder. She says it's important for everyone to understand why Juneteenth is celebrated throughout the country.
Families were separated. So there could have been a family in Georgia that also had family in Texas. So if they were free, why wouldn't we want to celebrate that? It's about freedom. It's not about a particular state. It's not about a particular person. It's about freedom for us all.
Freedom from the past with hope for the future. Dent says this event is much more than food and music, with a job recruitment fair, college resources, and mental health organizations.
We try to address those areas where people have challenges. It's about true freedom. And you can't be totally free until you work on all those areas of your life.
To celebrate how far we've come.
Shantae Lamons is one of the hundreds of people at Saturday's festival. She says this celebration is also necessary for children.
The best way for our kids to know about their heritage or where we came from is for us to tell them. So we have to make sure that we're first doing it at home or in church so that they know, and community events like this one.
And this community event is one Dent says will keep going strong for years to come.
It's important that we celebrate the resilience, the accomplishments, and just the culture.
In Thomasville, Stacey Inez, WCTV Eyewitness News.
All right, looks like they had some nice weather out there. And of course, you saw people with their caps and visors and fans. Yeah. All of that was needed in this heat.
All those little portable personal cooling devices, super important this time of year. We're going to spend lots of hours, by the way, mid-90s and up again today and likely tomorrow. So we're going to continue what we had over the weekend, at least for the first couple of days this week. Hopefully we'll start to see some changes by Wednesday. If not by Wednesday, then by Thursday. But we've got a lot of hot to look forward to today and lots of hours in the mid-90s and up. Was watching some spots near the Wakulla County coast with a few sprinkles. That's all since fizzled out. A few showers really early this morning, scooted by Cape San Blas. That also since fizzled out. So right now, not a whole lot going on radar, and I think it's going to be a good long while before we see the next little flare up. I'm hoping we can find some scattered showers across the board to cool things down, but I don't love the chances today. It's 75 degrees this morning in Tallahassee. We've been sitting there for a couple hours. 74 in Valdosta, same thing. Not a lot of movement. A smidge cooler in Valdosta at 72. We're going to watch these temperatures start to climb soon, and then start to climb fast, and then start to climb far. Got to expect a lot of numbers into the mid-90s by 2, 3 o'clock this afternoon and stay in there until 5, 6, 7 o'clock tonight if we don't get some showers, and I think those chances for showers are going to be small. Around the region, it's mostly between 70 and 75. As a matter of fact, it's mostly between 72 and 75. Homerville is the only spot at 70 this morning. It's not breezy. It's not going to be. It is hazy. It is humid. It is sticky outside, but the fog, not too bad. Now, there's not a lot of organized across the eastern half of the country. Anything trying to move east is getting shunted around that big bubble of high pressure that's been our big weather player and will be for another couple of days at least. That's why we reduce those shower chances. That's why we got to think cool thoughts, because lots and lots of hot, long duration hot. Watch here on the Futurecast, maybe a couple of showers to try in a few spots even today. But I don't think we're going to get even our normal afternoon sea breeze type activity. And that means today, tomorrow, with limited showers, it's long duration hot, long duration humid, and not much is going to change. Futurecast a little bit more optimistic than I am right now about Wednesday. I'm hoping to get in line with that. We'll see how things evolve over the next couple of days. Now, as far as the weather in the tropics go, still not a whole lot going on out there. Here's Bermuda. Well east of it, got an area of disturbed weather here where there's at least some potential over the next couple of days for a little development. As a matter of fact, I think maybe over the next 24 to 36 hours would be the best chance if anything's going to happen here, because then things are going to be a little bit more hostile. And even if something does start to develop, it's out in the middle of nowhere, and it's going to affect nobody. So it's the best kind of tropical anything. It is the only thing we're looking at in the tropics right now, and it's not near any land area or expected to be near any land area. So we'll say the tropics are still pretty quiet. On the Gulf close to home, we've got those east and southeast winds up to 15 knots and seas up to 4 feet. Hazy sunshine this morning, very muggy. 70s become 80s, become 90s real fast. I think there'll be a handful of spots pushing 90 by noontime, and we're going to still be up over 90 probably 6, 7 o'clock tonight. So lots of hours really, really hot. I'll put the rain chance around 40%. That's better than 0%. but it certainly means the showers are going to be few and far between. Tonight we stay muggy and in the 70s, probably in the mid 70s, and I think we do it exactly all over again tomorrow, and probably something real close again on Wednesday. Now at this point, it does feel like a little change finally gets here by the end of the week, and that little change will mean more scattered showers, more typical summertime showers, and that likely leads us to less hours or fewer hours of such hot temperatures, but we're still going to have all the humid all week.